Hi, and welcome back to Session 4 of our United in Love series.
In Matthew chapter 19, the Pharisees asked Jesus, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any cause whatever?" He said in reply, "Have you not read that from the beginning the Creator made them male and female, and said, 'For this reason a man shall leave his father and mother, and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh.' Therefore, what God has joined together, no human being must separate." They said to him, "Then why did Moses command that the man give the woman a bill of divorce and dismiss her?" He said to them, "Because of the hardness of your hearts, Moses allowed you to divorce your wives, but from the beginning it was not so."
We want to welcome back Greg and Julie Alexander as they talk about how the hurt they experienced in their marriage wasn't bigger than the love and healing that is waiting for each one of us in Christ.
The beautiful thing in the sacrament of reconciliation that we learn is that it is a two-person process, if you will. Because traditionally, we have been conditioned to say the words, "I'm sorry," if we wrong the other person. Well, that doesn't work very well because a lot of times we go back, we repeat that infraction, we say, "I'm sorry." We repeat that infraction, we say, "I'm sorry." And we continue that process so much after a point, "I'm sorry" just doesn't mean anything anymore. But it's also one-sided because I can go to Julie, say "I'm sorry" and walk away, but in my heart of hearts, do I know if she's forgiven me or not? But the art of forgiveness and healing, again, requires a cooperation of the two parties. Because first of all, the one who has committed the infraction has to humble his or herself, go to the other person, ask for that forgiveness, and then to receive that absolution, to be released from that. And of course, and as we know as Christians, again, as Julie alluded to, forgiveness is not an option. We always extend that. But what that does, and in that process, there's something very healing, again, just as in the sacrament of reconciliation. In fact, in this exercise with couples, and maybe one of the things I would ask you to consider is that in the sacrament of reconciliation, in order for the celebration of that sacrament to be valid, there's 5 things that must exist. There's an examination of conscience. There is the confession of sin, contrition of heart, intent or commitment to change, and finally, a penance. And so as we begin to work with couples, we would have them literally separate, go to God individually in prayer, asking God to help them call to mind the many things they've said and done to cause hurt and pain to the other person. Now, this is a different shift, again, from what we've been conditioned to believe. In fact, as Julie and I went to therapy, the counselor suggested that, well, Greg and Julie, what I need you to do first is to go back and create a list of all the things that the other person has done to cause you hurt and pain in this marriage relationship.
That was easy. We could come up with 15 pages of the other person.
Yeah, because we're all experts at pointing out
Yes.
the faults of the other person. But it's a whole different ball game when you have to begin to pull out that mirror and self-reflect and take ownership of the things that you know that you've done to cause hurt and pain in a relationship.